Younger, I wasn't able to do anything, so I never got to experience a lot of things. I'm very awkward. I'm very socially awkward. So awkward. Pretty much when I was younger, my sister has an actual mental illness. She battles with manic bipolar disorder and depression and anxiety. And we didn't know that. My sister is 8 years older than I am. My sister used to lie to my mom a lot. My sister's run away many times. Pretty much not be a good child at all. And my mom took that out on me. There was just basically a lot of fights that I experienced. And they were pretty bad fights. That was just what I grew up with. I cried a lot growing up. I was very scared a lot. I'm trying to not cry either because I don't think it's really gonna do anything if I cry, but I'm sorry if I cry. I don't have a reason to cry. My sister would take it too far too, and I would get yelled at a lot. I was yelled at a lot. I even get yelled at when I cry, and I get told to stop crying. So whenever I cry now, it's actually an automatic reflex to try and make myself stop crying. I would always get told I didn't know what I wanted growing up. My mom still tries to tell me this, and I'm 20, and she would say, you don't know anything. You don't know what you want. I don't know what to do anymore. I know I'm hurting a lot on the inside, and it's a constant issue for the past 2 years. It does hurt. I would cry a lot to my mom. I was there by myself. I wanted to cry. Do jump around a lot. My mind is very much all over the place all the time. All my life, besides that, I've also been very, very, very protected. And I don't believe I've been protected in the most healthiest ways. I think I've honestly been protected in the most worst ways possible. Growing up, I was also extremely restricted on everything. I've never been to a party, y'all. Growing up, and again, this is something I've never talked about, but growing up, my mom never let me go out. And I'm not being dramatic. My mom never let me go out. I couldn't go to sleepovers, I couldn't go to movies, I couldn't go to anyone's house, no one could come here. I couldn't be out of the house after a certain time. Going into college, I was told by my mom that I have to dress a certain way so that way people wouldn't pick on me. I have to like basically dumb down my outfit and look like a bum every day so that way I could fit in with everybody else, because everybody else around me didn't care about how they looked. I never really had a good relationship with school. School always gave me really, 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 really bad anxiety. I used to have really, really bad breakdowns before and after big tests. I've spoken to the few friends I've had about this. I've spoken to a therapist about this, but it was a counselor that they gave us through the school. There was this girl at the time that wasn't even like a friend, but just someone that I wanted as a friend. I didn't have many friends, so when I was in school, there were people that like in my head I would consider a friend, but like realistically and logically I knew they weren't my friends, but I just didn't have friends like that. A lot of times when I'm in friend groups, unfortunately, they exclude me and I don't get to be a part of the group. A lot of the times they will think that I think that I'm better than them, or that they'll take the stuff that I say in the wrong way, and this has happened so many times. I want to believe that it's because that I'm very quiet, so as much as I try to be like outgoing, like I try to be more outgoing because I used to be quiet, like I've been quiet all my life, and people kind of take it as me thinking that I'm better than them. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know. I'm used to doing a lot of things by myself, thanks to my mom. A lot of times whenever I go and I do anything, I'll be like, oh, well, I'll just do it by myself. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll just go by myself. Because I know lots of times, and this is something that my mom told me, is that, you know, you can't really rely on a lot of people because people will let you down. Lots of times I'll be like, oh, no, I'll just go do this by myself. Like, it's okay. And they think that, like, I'm trying to say that I'm better or that I think that I can do things better just because I'm used to being by myself. I never really socialized much. It's about a topic that I'm not really sure how to talk about just because I've never voiced it to anybody. It is about my eating disorder that I used to have and am still trying to get out of the whole mindset of how I used to think. I was starting to get much smaller, and at this time I would get to a point where I just wouldn't really eat. That's what I was striving for mentally. That's the idea of pretty that I saw. I am a sophomore in college. This only stopped my freshman year of college. I remember I used to not have any energy at all. I would sleep so much. I would have days where I would just sleep in bed and just not eat. I would do kind of binging where I would eat a lot one day and then the next day I wouldn't eat. I don't really know how to talk about this. I don't really know how to talk about things like this because I don't really talk about them to anybody, but it's just really hard. One thing I've been struggling with recently is motivation. I don't have any, and that's something you guys don't see. It's very hard for me to wake up in the morning and to even do stuff that I'm gonna get paid for. If you followed me on Twitter, like when I first went to college, I cried that very first day. But like, you guys didn't really see me crying, but I put like on that tweet that I cried. I'm gonna be honest, you guys. Yes, Ariana Grande inspires a lot for me.